Hello, hello. What is up? What is good? My mic got 180 somehow. We are reading a new chapter of One Piece after our 1 week Golden Week break, which feels like it's been way more than just a 2 week absence from One Piece. Busy, busy times for me. Busy, busy times in the series, too. So much is happening with every chapter that it feels disorienting just to get back in the flow of it. At the end of the last chapter, we had the setup to yet another kind of chaotic encounter that's unfolding all over the island with Robin and Scopper Gaman both squaring up against Saint Somers. I feel like at some point the dominoes have to start falling, and we're gonna have to start actually having serious battles. The overall structure of this arc is still a little mysterious to me because there's this entire kind of lurking plot line with the backstory of Loki and Hadruden and King Harald that seems like it's getting further and further away from the ongoing conflict. Like they kind of like hinted that we were gonna see that flashback, we were gonna learn that whole story, and then we just sort of swerved away from that and haven't returned to it in a while. And now it's almost more feeling like we're gonna just kind of clean up all this business with the Holy Knights and everything, and then we're gonna get into the Loki plotline. Because it still feels like there's still some remaining X factor with Elbaf. We still haven't really gotten the payoff of that very mysterious comment early on. The quote from the explorer Louis Arnaud about the dangers of dallying on Elbaf. And there's still the top layer. There's still the Valhalla equivalent. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out. A new series started in Jump this week, like today. Oter of the Flame, which is like a Viking fantasy battle series. Fantastic. Check that out. I was really, really impressed by the first chapter. I love a good fantasy shonen series. You know, I often complain so many battle shonen are just set in like modern Japan, but there's demons, modern Japan, but there's ghosts we need to exercise, whatever. The prospect of it actually being in a brand new fantasy world that they're going to build for the ground up and fill with interesting things and world building and lore is really exciting to me. They don't do that too often, and I think this one will be good. I just thought of it because, you know, talking about Valhalla, One Piece is in its kind of Viking arc, and now we have this new Viking series starting in Jump. It's the year of the Viking. But yeah, really good stuff. Okay, so we start with our cover page saga. Yamato is heading now to the new province. Ulti and the brother that Ulti is obsessed with, name forgotten. Completely forgotten. It's definitely a card game. It's not Hold'em. It's not Speed. It's not. It's somebody. But Ulti and them are accompanying Yamato, as I kind of predicted. Just because Ulti especially is like a popular character, needs to get back in the mix somehow. Doesn't really make sense for her to just be a villain again, so have her become a comrade. And this is very typical too of Odin's journey around Wano. You know, Kinemon was like a ruffian. He was a rabble rouser. He was causing trouble for everybody. And then he joined up with Odin and he became a noble, worthy man. And this kind of happens over and over again. There's all these parables, both in Odin's story and then just sort of Japanese folklore and myth of like ruffians, of the outcast, bandits and scoundrels being called up to greater heights by a worthy man. And that's what Yamato's doing too. Gathering all these once controversial comrades. Okay. Oh, so the chapter title is Ranja. Here is Ranja. As I suspected, we were gonna see some more of these kids. We had all of their like little profiles when they were introduced. Last chapter doesn't really make sense to do that unless there's gonna be some sort of payoff, some sort of adventure with these kids specifically. And here it looks like They're fucking with them. I don't know. We had a lot of discussion last time. Is Gunko actually like either a secret agent, secretly a revolutionary or something, or is she having a change of heart and actually helping them out? I think something like that is the case. I don't know what exactly. So this seems very contrary to that. That now Gunko is just making this kid wander off to fall off the face of the earth. This charmingly optimistic child, I think, unduly optimistic. Seems like she's about to just step into the wild blue yonder. It's the underworld down there. Oh, so this is their more immediate threat to burn down the library. They've got this kid right on the edge. Don't hear the decisions within 30 seconds. The first one of your kids gets pushed off. Beardhill Jarul, you need to give the orders to your school teacher. Tell her to light the school and library on fire. What will Jarul do? He does not seem like the wisest man. Or maybe all he has is wisdom and not too much cunning or intelligence. He certainly feels flummoxed in this situation. That library holds the words of people across thousands of years of history. Obviously, lives come first. This is a tough one, man. Like, I think this is genuinely a pretty horrific scenario, morality-wise. Like, yeah, you can quite quickly say, well, the kid's life is more important. And I don't think anybody would fault you for that. But, like, the books are actually really important. And a lot of people have genuinely sacrificed their lives so that those books can live on at Ohara. And probably in similar situations, time and time again throughout history, many of those books have passed down through so much adversity and so many scenarios like this. Can you really let it all fall apart now? But I think neither will happen. I don't know. I would be surprised if they went so far as to actually burn down the library. Because Saint Somers and is a real piece of shit, but Saint Killingham is more of a funny goofball whom I don't think we are meant to loathe to just an unfathomable degree. And Gunko seems like she's got something going on, and she's gonna, not like, oh, she's got it going on, but yeah, like she's gonna play some more nuanced role in the story where she helps them somehow, I think. And either of these things happening, either the kid plummeting, which I really don't think is going to happen. I could see maybe a tear-jerking moment of having to set the library on fire. But more than likely, I think we're just going to get neither. And Gunko here is about to get jumped by two very, very pissed off people. Conditions aren't a real issue. It's a massive turning point for Elbaf. Will we bend the knee to them or not? You want to let our children die just to prove a point? Isn't there anyone else around there? You have to stop this preposterous game. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Robin basically saying, like, it doesn't make any sense for me to run out and fight right now, but I can't hold back. I'm so pissed off. And I don't know, man. Like, Robin, I think, is probably one of the best surprise attack fighters we have in the series. Just like grab his balls, do that old trick. Hana fruit. Think this guy has anti-ball resistant haki? Do you think he can protect his balls with armament haki that quickly? With a total surprise attack out of nowhere? Are you literally insane? Even the worst, most vicious criminals across the world don't take children hostage. Well, Caesar Clown did, kind of. They weren't hostages as much as test subjects. But they leveraged children. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I guess you can say that Kaido did that. But that wasn't just any kid. That was a very particular kid that he was threatening. Okay, Gerd and Frankie rushing in. No, that's not Gerd. Gerd is the ship's nurse in the New Giant Pirates. That's That's Scopper Gaban's wife, whose name I forget. One to fight the monsters, one to save the children. Alright, let's do it. They're raiding, they're raiding. Great perspective shot here. We're kind of seeing the overall flow of the situation. The big dragon nightmare beasts. Sleeptids. Also, if you do choose to burn the school and library, you are forbidden from removing a single book from them. You see, what we want to burn down is your culture and your history. Yes! Let's go! I told you, dude! She's got the surprise attacks on lock. It's tough to... If you don't realize that there's a lady creeping up on you that can make limbs sprout from wherever, it's pretty hard to prepare yourself for that particular thing. It's pretty hard to prepare yourself for a freaking palm uppercut. Bam! Let's go. And that's her Giga Hand, too. You can see it getting built up. I don't know. This attack seems powerful, but is it more powerful than the ball squeeze? Maybe she should have done both. Okay. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. The Quantumano Clutch, a classic. I was actually going to reference this originally. She does this in Alabasta to some unsuspecting people. But the Balls Crusher came to mind more readily. I was thinking about this move too. Nice. Frick him up. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to go down this easy. These dudes do seem legitimately strong on top of their cruelty and their positioning and their status and power and stuff. But yes, they have these regenerative abilities. The hope is just to take them away, yeah. So Robin grabs him and then plummets off. This may not really be Robin. This may be her double that she can sprout. But yeah, if you can't kill him, just take him away. Now look at Brooke. Brooke is bound up like a mummy. Way more than anyone else. Doesn't that seem a little suspicious? Why would she bother? Unless this is overcompensating for the fact that she's actually surreptitiously helping Brooke? I don't know. She may actually just be that evil. Our evidence that she's not is like, she's a fan of Brooks. She said that thing about Nika. She kind of dresses like a revolutionary. And she's wearing a mask, which Oda likes to, when a character has a change of heart, they take the mask off. Alright. We're immortal and have thorn-based powers, but as long as I remove those invisible thorns, we can save the children. Knowing me down below will put the kids outside the range of my powers. You're a clever woman. Yeah, makes sense. He jabs spikes all over the place out of him. But that's not the real Robin. Of course, as suspected. Great shot here. I like that Oda... Because it's not like Robin fights all that often. And I think, you know, it just kind of makes sense in the story that she doesn't get a chance to fight that often. We have a lot of people doing a lot of fighting. But they're always setting her up in situations where her powers can be surprising like this. And we kind of see her through the eyes of her opponents just as much as we see her as, you know, one of the Straw Hats. We see her as this, like, weird cryptid that can do all these strange things. And it's all the more accentuated by the fact that we don't see that too often. Okay, so she can't unbind them. Of course, it's Gunko's power that created these weird arrow wrappings. Ooh. And then the thorn fruit. Again, I really like this. As I said, it's such a simple devil fruit. It feels like a kind of classic pre-time skip devil fruit power. And just like those, you know, it never gets like super overly complicated. The craziest thing we've seen it do is create that weird dragon. And I guess the fact that they're invisible thorns is kind of weird too. But at any rate, it's like very consistently, like the aesthetics are consistent, the theming is consistent, and it's always kind of like doing the stuff you expect it to, but in crazy ways. And this is a great example of that kind of like crazy power creativity. You know, you really get the feeling of like, oh, this is a guy who has had these powers for years and years and years, and has come up with all sorts of clever ways to wield them and fail safes and ways to save himself and blah 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 blah. Yeah, great shot here. Love the school. It's where my friends are. I love the library too. The books tell you about places all around the world. The teachers at school taught me this lesson. You mustn't cause trouble for other people. You mustn't do things that make them upset. Oh, Nami is so upset. If we lose the school and library, in order to stop me from falling off the branch, that would make me be really sad and make everyone upset. So I think I should fall instead. Don't worry, Chief Cheryl. I'll be all right. I'm a lucky girl. I bet everything will come out fine. Oh, no. Okay, he gives the order to set fire to the school. He's back. He attacks Robin. But it's time. Yeah! Yeah! Hell yeah! Alright. I like it. It's quite the setup to have him at the end of the last chapter go, alright, I'm gonna get him. And then I gotta spend this whole chapter just running over. But whatever. It's great. I love it. I love it. Very, very cathartic. Very, very satisfying. Hacking his arm off and it's not coming back. And we see, of course, his axe is blackened with Haki, and there's the lightning bolts of Haki. So, probably related to stopping the regeneration in the same way that Haki can break through, like, Luffy's devil fruit resistances and break through Logia fruits and stuff. So we managed to fuck him up before the library is set ablaze. This presumably will help take out the Thorn powers, so now they can at least physically stop the kids from marching to their doom. They really need kind of all three of these things in place at once. So this already is a major blow to their plans. Of course, I don't think Sommers is totally down for the count. But I don't know. So like I said before, yeah, these guys seem like they should be strong. They're not just random ass celestial dragons, but they've earned their place in the Holy Knights for a reason. But in the general overall power scaling of One Piece, maybe they're like, I don't know, like Vice Admiral level, right? Like maybe we think of them as, oh, they're the kind of final reserve of the world government's forces, but at the same time, it's like if they were truly strong powers aligned with the world government, maybe they would just send them out in the Marines or whatever. Like, would they really just let them chill at Marijois the entire time? I don't know. I'm curious to see how this goes. We have two kind of unknown quantities here. Scopper, of course, seems ludicrously powerful, but we haven't really seen him tested yet. And Sommers is powerful by rank and seems to have a very powerful devil fruit, as simple as it may be, but is also very untested outside of his cheat code regeneration powers. So let's see where it goes from here. Good stuff, good stuff. Advertisement for volume 108. I encounter that number everywhere. Let's look forward to next week. See you then.